Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we're diving into some exciting updates, starting with the Hong Kong fund management industry getting a major boost thanks to Beijing's new tweaks to the mutual fund recognition scheme. This change allows local firms to sell more funds to mainland investors, which is expected to invigorate the market and attract more investment. Next up, it's time to prepare your wallets. Starting in January 2025, Hong Kong residents will face a rise in living costs, including higher utility bills, transport fares, and rents. With everything from electricity to McDonald's menu items seeing price hikes, it's essential for residents to plan ahead to navigate these changes. And for all the coffee lovers out there, 2025 is shaping up to be a fantastic year. Several new coffee shops have opened in Hong Kong, including Blue Bottle and Luckin Coffee, offering a delightful variety of brews and pastries. Whether you're a local or just visiting, these new spots are sure to perk up your day. Please stay tuned for more details. South China Morning Post reports that Hong Kong's fund management industry is set to benefit from recent modifications to the Mutual Fund Recognition (MFR) scheme, which will allow local firms to sell a greater number of investment funds to mainland Chinese investors. The changes, effective from January 1, 2025, are designed to enhance Hong Kong's status as a global investment hub, enabling fund managers to tap into the growing demand from mainland investors seeking to diversify their portfolios. The adjustments include allowing foreign fund managers to manage investments on behalf of mainland clients and increasing the quota of funds that can be sold under the scheme from 50% to 80%. This is expected to invigorate the market, as evidenced by the significant investment flows from mainland investors into Hong Kong funds in recent years. In another report from South China Morning Post, the cost of living in Hong Kong is projected to rise in 2025, with increases in utility bills, transportation fares, and public housing rents. Electricity prices will see a slight uptick of nearly 1%, while several bus operators will raise fares by up to 7.5%. Additionally, public housing tenants will face a 10% rent hike, affecting many families. Fast food prices are also on the rise, with McDonald's increasing some menu items by up to 2%. These changes reflect the ongoing pressures of inflation and rising operational costs faced by service providers in the region, prompting concerns about the impact on residents' daily expenses. The Independent captures the vibrant atmosphere of New Year's Eve celebrations in New York's Times Square, where approximately 1 million people gathered to witness the iconic ball drop. Despite the rain, revelers from various locations, including Japan, expressed their excitement to partake in this long-standing tradition, which has been celebrated since 1907. The event, closely monitored by the NYPD and other agencies for security, featured performances from popular artists and was marked by the elaborate 12,000-pound ball adorned with 2,500 crystals. While many opted for the traditional outdoor experience, others chose to secure a more comfortable view from nearby restaurants, willing to pay hefty prices for the privilege. This annual gathering not only signifies the arrival of a new year, but also showcases the resilience and spirit of those who come together to celebrate in one of the world's most famous locations. South China Morning Post highlights the pressing need for the United States to introspect before engaging with China. As America grapples with its own internal divisions, it risks decoupling from its core values and social fabric. The recent elections have starkly revealed a nation split in two, with polarized ideologies and communities that have grown distrustful of one another. This fragmentation raises questions about America's identity and its ability to forge a meaningful relationship with China. The piece argues that understanding the complexities of American society is essential for a productive dialogue with China, emphasizing that both nations have misconceptions about each other that must be addressed for any hope of coexistence. In another article, the South China Morning Post discusses Hong Kong's aspirations to lead the global low-altitude economy, particularly through advancements in drone technology. While the ambition is commendable, the article cautions against the unique challenges Hong Kong faces, including urban density, airspace regulations, and public safety concerns. The city must invest heavily in infrastructure and workforce training to keep pace with technological advancements and ensure that it does not fall behind other tech hubs. Additionally, the environmental impact of increased drone usage must be carefully managed to prevent negative consequences for the community. A strategic approach that balances economic growth and sustainability is essential for Hong Kong to thrive in this emerging sector. Lastly, the South China Morning Post reflects on the future of sports in Hong Kong as the city enters 2025. Following a successful Olympic campaign, there are high hopes for local athletes, especially with the upcoming national games. However, the article emphasizes the need for better governance in sports management to elevate Hong Kong's status as a sporting hub. It calls for a focus on hosting major events effectively, learning from past mistakes, and ensuring that funding is allocated wisely to support promising athletes. The piece advocates for a renewed commitment to local football and other sports, urging stakeholders to engage the community and fill stadiums, thereby fostering a vibrant sports culture in Hong Kong. South China Morning Post, the C919, China's first domestically developed narrow-body passenger jet, made its landmark debut in Hong Kong with flight MU721 from Shanghai, landing at 10:45 a.m. on Wednesday. This marked the aircraft's first commercial scheduled flight outside the mainland, a significant step in showcasing China's aviation capabilities. The jet, which can carry between 158 and 192 passengers and has a range of 5,555 kilometers, is expected to operate daily on this route. The launch was celebrated with a send-off ceremony attended by key aviation officials, emphasizing its role in enhancing China Eastern Airlines' experience with the C919. Experts believe that this flight will attract international attention and serve as a crucial experience for future expansions of the aircraft into other markets. With 365 orders still pending, the C919's future looks promising as it aims to establish a presence beyond mainland China. South China Morning Post, a tragic road accident in Hong Kong on New Year's Day resulted in the deaths of 3 men in their 30s and left 4 others injured. The incident occurred when a taxi, driven by a 65-year-old man, collided with a private vehicle on the West Kowloon Highway around 1:44 a.m. The private car's driver lost control, leading to a catastrophic sequence of events that involved multiple vehicles. The taxi driver has been arrested on suspicion of dangerous driving causing death, while the police are appealing for witnesses to come forward. This incident highlights the dangers of road traffic accidents and the need for careful driving, especially during busy holiday periods. South China Morning Post, in a bid to address its talent shortage due to declining birth rates, Taiwan is set to launch a 6-month visa program for foreign digital nomads starting in 2025. The initiative, announced by the National Development Council, aims to attract 400,000 foreign workers by 2032, tapping into the growing trend of remote work. With a fertility rate below 1%, Taiwan is experiencing a shrinking workforce, prompting the government to seek new talent sources to sustain its tech-driven economy. The digital nomad visa is seen as a strategic move to enhance Taiwan's appeal as a destination for remote workers, offering them a conducive environment with lower living costs compared to nearby regions. Local governments, particularly in areas like Taitung, are also preparing to welcome these nomads by improving infrastructure and creating supportive communities, thus hoping to boost the economy and tourism in the long run. South China Morning Post reports that in 2024, Hong Kong's wealthy elites faced significant financial losses, amounting to billions, as they were forced to sell their properties at drastically reduced prices due to a combination of high interest rates and a sluggish economy. Notable figures like Chen Zhuolin, chairman of Agile Group, exemplified this trend by selling 9 apartments in Kowloon Tong at discounts of up to 63%, resulting in a loss of $16 million on his investments. The overall market has seen a staggering decline in property values, with office and retail spaces dropping between 50% and 70% from their peak. This crisis has impacted not only local tycoons but also mainland Chinese investors, with many struggling to maintain liquidity amidst a 4-year slump in the property sector. The outlook for 2025 remains bleak, with expectations of continued distressed sales and challenges in the commercial real estate market. South China Morning Post highlights that despite the absence of Olympic events in 2025, Hong Kong's sporting calendar is set to be vibrant, featuring major competitions such as the Cathay HSBC Hong Kong Sevens at the new Kai Tak Sports Park and the National Games in November. The Hong Kong Sevens will be a test of the new venue's atmosphere, while the National Games will showcase a variety of sports across multiple cities, including fencing and rugby sevens. Other notable international events include the FIFA Club World Cup in the US, the Women's Rugby World Cup in England, and the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. Each event promises to attract global attention and highlight the talents of athletes from various disciplines, ensuring that 2025 will be a year filled with thrilling sports moments. South China Morning Post discusses the investment strategies of high-net-worth individuals and family offices for 2025, indicating a preference for markets in Taiwan, India, and the US, while also considering increased exposure to mainland China due to anticipated stimulus measures. UBS's insights reveal a growing interest in the Chinese market following the government's economic support efforts, as well as a focus on Taiwan's semiconductor industry and India's resilient economy amid potential global trade tensions. Family offices are expected to diversify their portfolios, seeking opportunities in fixed income, equities, and alternative investments such as private equity. However, uncertainty surrounding U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods present challenges, with predictions of market volatility as the new U.S. administration navigates its economic policies. Overall, the investment landscape for affluent investors in 2025 is characterized by cautious optimism and strategic diversification. South China Morning Post highlights the untapped beauty and potential of Hong Kong's waters, urging the city to embrace marine recreation and ecotourism. With a coastline stretching 722 kilometers and over 263 islands, Hong Kong's aquatic environment offers a unique opportunity for leisure activities that can enhance residents' quality of life while stimulating economic growth. Despite a significant increase in pleasure vessels, the infrastructure to support marine activities remains insufficient, leaving many boat owners underserved. The article advocates for strategic planning to develop comprehensive facilities, promote sustainable practices, and enhance public transport links to popular marine destinations. By learning from other cities that have successfully integrated marine recreation into urban planning, Hong Kong can transform its relationship with its natural surroundings and position itself as a leading destination in Asia. Guardian reports on Anthony Vo, an American fugitive who fled to Canada after being sentenced for his involvement in the January 6 Capitol riot. Vo, convicted of entering a restricted building and disorderly conduct, seeks political asylum while hoping for a pardon from Donald Trump if he returns to the White House. He describes the Capitol riot as a peaceful protest that was manipulated by a domestic regime change operation. Vo's journey to Canada reflects a desperate search for refuge, as he previously attempted to seek asylum in multiple countries. He expresses hope that Trump's potential return to power could lead to a pardon for him and others involved in the riot, as Trump has previously labeled the rioters as patriots. South China Morning Post explores the divisive nature of lamb meat, with strong opinions on its gamey flavor, creating polarization among diners. A personal anecdote illustrates this divide, as a friend could not stomach the taste of lamb, while the author found it enjoyable. The article delves into why lamb elicits such extreme reactions, noting that while some avoid it for ethical reasons, others simply cannot tolerate its distinctive odor and flavor. The author reflects on their own culinary experiences, highlighting the cultural significance of lamb dishes, particularly in Middle Eastern cuisine. The piece also touches on the use of spices like cumin to mask the gamey aroma of lamb, further emphasizing the complexities of food preferences and the challenge of accommodating diverse palates in shared dining experiences. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spit, walls come down. Voices merge in the sound, faces mix in the crowd. Broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen. Every link a different theme, words collide in the stream. 6 degrees connect the dots, background stories hold the nuts. Hear the voices rise a lot, truth unveils in every spot. Cultures clash across the globe, spin the threads in a stroke. Every story wears a robe, truth and lies in their code. Journalistic real deep, secrets out they don't see. Every angle they will keep, in the news we take a lead. New perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way. Perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way. Cultures, I go, what really or do not, what enough to be you, everything and ever, what enough and after, what enough and after, what enough and after, enough 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 enough